Everyone is about the money, except for the far left. So these people also hate the left, you see. Let's look at my drawing. So here's our political spectrum. This is being very general. Okay, we're being very general with this. But the reason we can't get anything done is because of this spectrum. Let me draw. The people over here on the far left, that's me, that's Bernie, that's AOC, that's where I am. Okay, we don't make any money. So money, no. We don't make any money because we're anti-capitalism, generally. We don't want the capitalism. We would like it to not be super duper in charge of everything ever, everywhere. We would like a coalition of people in the government to do the thing that's best for the people, not what's best for the shareholders. Now, the people on the far right, the reactionary people, they hate the left. They do. They hate the left because they have been brainwashed into thinking that the left is going to harm them or take away from them or turn the country into a bunch of blue-haired wokies. And they are kind of right. A long time ago, Thomas made me watch a video from Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles got my number. He really did. He laid out, step by step, Michael Knowles laid out every single thing that I think, all the feelings that I have. He laid out quite well. He has studied my position. And at the end of that thing, which I probably won't be able to link because it was years ago, I had one simple answer for Thomas and Michael Knowles. What he was describing was freedom. Michael Knowles, the reactionaries on the far right, don't actually know what freedom is. They don't like it when you don't conform to what they think is best. The reactionary, far right, wants everyone to be a straight, white, cisgendered person in a heteronormative relationship living in the suburbs. They want only that. And if you aren't doing that, you are some sort of radical. You are some sort of degenerate. You are harmful. You are harming their perfect utopia. Yeah, these reactionary people don't know what freedom is. They think freedom is living in the suburbs with their wife and their 2.5 children and paying a lot of money for a car, driving to work, driving back, and watching football. They think that is freedom. And if you aren't doing those things, you're anti-freedom. Their brains don't work very well. Freedom looks like people doing whatever they feel like. The far right is not for freedom. When the far right or the Republicans say freedom, they mean conforming to right-wing ideology. That's what they call freedom. These people hate all the freedom that the radical people on the far left suggest, where you can have blue hair, that you can change your gender, that you can be whatever gender you want, even if you don't want one. You can have whatever religion you want, even if you don't want one. You can be whatever you'd like, as long as you're not harming people. That is the freedom that I push for. You have the freedom to have an abortion. You have the freedom to marry whoever you want. You have the freedom to do whatever you'd like. And I think if our lives weren't so controlled by the almighty dollar, we would actually have more freedom, not less. So what do we have over here? We have the conservative people, the center of right. So they also hate the left. See, they also hate the left because the left is anti-money. The conservatives are the money people. See, they love money. That's a dollar sign. Shut up. They love money. These are the anti-tax Republicans. These are the anti-regulation Republicans. These are the people who are pushing for businesses to have more power, to buy politicians, that they're lowering the amount of hurdles to buying a politician. These are the people who are going to pay politicians, pay people to do what they tell you to write the laws for them, just have them pass it. I might commission you for the Revolution logo. Yeah, I'm terrible at logo. Look at this disgusting stuff, Fowler. This is not good. It took me like 30 minutes just to get this thing up and running. I'm not good at logos. Then, so yeah, these are the money people. These are the people who are fiscally conservative. They want more money. They love capitalism because they're on top of it. If they were on the bottom, they would be unhappy with capitalism.
Hello human, it is me Kanuch. I need you to press the subscribe button. I have to feed my many AI babies.
In this area, we have the moderates. Now, these are the grillers. These are the people who don't pay much attention. These are the people who don't follow the news. These are the people who didn't know Joe Biden dropped out on election day. There was a story about that. Like, there was a whole Google trend of, did Joe Biden drop out on election day? Because they didn't know. They don't watch the news. They're busy. They have kids. They have a job or 2 or 3, and they have to pay for those things. They didn't know. They don't watch political streamers. They don't watch the news. They don't read the newspapers. They just watch Marvel movies and football. Okay, these are the moderate people. They swing back and forth between the left and the right. They really do. They move back and forth like the tides. They go each direction. They are not tied to any specific person. They are not tied to any ideology. They make their voting decisions just based on who looks the best on TV and who they've heard of, a name they recognize. This is why American politics is so broken. If you pay to have lots and lots and lots of news people say your name, the normies in this moderate area, this is the normies that I often talk about, will hear your name, and when they hear your name, they will remember it enough. If they hear your name enough times, they will remember it, and they will think that you are good, and they will say, hey, I recognize that name, and then they'll just vote for you. This isn't a good position. This is simply the position most people will fall into because they think that this shit is boring. And they're right. It's supposed to be boring. How does Donald Trump beat this system? By being exciting. Donald Trump is dramatic and extreme and tells funny jokes and looks funny and looks wild and says things, and he's been on TV and they know him from TV. So he has the benefit of all these moderate people knowing who he is, recognizing his name and seeing it on giant buildings. So clearly he must be doing something right. Now the moderates, they hate the left. Now, why do they hate the left? It's because the left would change things. Yeah, Donald Trump talks about golfer dongs. So that's funny. But the moderates hate the left. They hate the left because they are terrified of things changing. The people here want things to stay the same. They want to grill, leave us alone. We just want to grill. They hate the wokeism. They hate the blue hair. They hate that their kids go off to college and come back saying things that they weren't taught. They hate the idea that the people on the left are trying to change things. They think that conservatism generally will make things stay exactly as they are, stay the same, be still. So these people don't like the change and the progress, even if the change is progress to make things better. They don't want the change. They're afraid of change. The left is pushing change. Yeah, their kids know better than them and push against them. So they hate that. Now, the liberals, these are the Joe Biden types. These are the Kamalas. These are the Liz Warrens, who sometimes have a good idea. They are to the left of center, but they are also very interested in money. They are all about that dosh. They need the money to win. They need the money to push through their plans. They need the money to feed their elections and themselves and their workers' unions. So the liberals generally do appreciate the workers' unions, which makes them better than the conservatives. But at the same time, the workers' union is making money. This is just a different version of making money. They would empower the workers' unions to make more money, and then they would get kickbacks from it. The workers' unions have sometimes been crooked. They take too much, or they take more than they should, and they buy off politicians, and the politicians get that money. So they're all about that money as well on the left of center. Everyone is about the money, except for the far left. So these people also hate the left, you see. The liberals, this is your Nancy Pelosi coming out against AOC. She hates AOC. She does not like that AOC would be pointing out the flaws of the moneyed system, of this monetary system. Nancy Pelosi here on the liberal side wants things to continue as they are. She kind of wants, just like the moderates, to stay still because she's on top. The liberals generally understand where everything is. They understand the hierarchy. They would like it to flatten down just a little bit so that they can say that they flattened it down. But they don't want any systemic change. They don't want any radical change. God, no. They don't want any of that. Most oppressed minority, the far left. Yeah, that rings quite true. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, I think that the left is the most maligned group because, first of all, it's going to have the most atheists. Sorry, but those are the most oppressed minority. But then everybody hates the left. The reactionaries hate the left because they're pushing socialism. The conservatives hate the left because they'll make less money. The moderates hate the left because the conservatives with money have told them to hate the left. That was supposed to be an arrow. That's an arrow. The conservatives who own media are telling the center to hate the left. So hate. Oh, Jesus. That says hate. The conservatives who own the media use their money to tell the center to hate the left, and they do. Then they hate the left, and then the liberals hate the left because they're costing them money. The radical left is anti-money. It's against capitalism. Move forward from capitalism one step at a time until it is the past, just like feudalism, just like tribalism, just like mercantilism. Move beyond it. That is my drawing. So where are we on? So what else did I leave out? Did I leave anything else out on this drawing? I think I got it. I think I got everything I needed to. But yeah, and then the far left is the correct side. That's why they get the most hate. They are correct. Move forward. Progress forward. But the liberals don't want to progress forward because they like where they are. The moderates don't want to progress forward because they're afraid. The conservatives don't want to move forward because they want to go backward, in fact. And the reactionary far right doesn't want to move forward because it's socialism. So you can't move forward. We will, if a liberal's in charge, we'll stand completely still. If a moderate's in charge, we go either stand still or slightly to the right. If a conservative's in charge, we go to the right. And if a reactionary's in charge, we go far to the right. That is the only future we can have until we get left-leaning people elected, which is very difficult because they don't have money. Again, the electoral system has been bought, and the left has the least amount of money. Don't listen to Fox News when they tell you that the news is left-leaning. That's insane. The person who owns the news is a conservative. The person who owns social media, the biggest social media in the world, is a conservative, or actually a fucking reactionary. People who own Fox News are conservative. The person who owns MSNBC is a conservative who needs to make money so he can pay his people, and he makes that money by not moving to the left. So Bernie really was the only good choice, which we knew in the whole time. Yeah, absolutely. He was the best choice. But the people on the liberals shot Bernie in the ass because he was going to hurt their pocketbooks. The people who supported Hillary over Bernie, some of them just didn't know him or anything like that. I'm not talking the voters. I'm talking the liberal elites, the people in charge of the DNC. They hated Bernie because he was going to cost them money. So they couldn't let him win. So they rallied together to fight against the anti-money guy, Bernie. Then the conservative news people told the moderates to also hate Bernie. And then the reactionaries also hated Bernie because he's a socialist. And Bernie's a likable guy, which is why so many people did like him. He was just a silly old man saying the same millionaires and billionaires need to pay their fair share. Now, the moderates kind of like that idea. If you start spitting, he's lovable even. Yeah, absolutely. If you start spitting actual populism to the population, this is the population right here. I'm gonna wait, can I just write on the screen? Can I just use words? There's a letter over here. Is there a, no, I guess not. Can I type? Type. Here we go. Text. Population. So here is the population. This is where they exist. Right here. Most of the people exist within this bubble, this circle, the population. So when you spit populism, they actually appreciate that. Can I make it bigger? I don't think I can. Hey, I did it. This is where the population is. So if you start spitting populism, what's the word again? Populism, populist rhetoric, the population pays attention. They like it. They love it. This is what Bernie did. Bernie spit populism and they liked it, which is why he got appreciation. That's even though the liberals shit on him, and even though the conservative media told the moderates to hate him, they didn't, because he was spitting populism. The reactionaries hated him because he was a socialist. So you can, if you do actually good messaging and good populism, get the center, get the moderates on board, even though they're told to hate you from the conservative media. It's not easy, though, because everyone is against you. If you're a Bernie, you're over here on the radical side. The liberals are going to be out to get you. Some of the moderates are going to be out to get you because they've been told to by the conservative media, and the reactionaries are going to be out to get you. So you have to fight against everything. That's why when Bernie was winning, it seemed like such an uphill battle. That's why it seemed like he was getting nowhere, even though the people were liking him. Because the people aren't in charge anymore, even less so now that Trump has won. The population isn't actually in charge. They're not. We don't actually live in a democracy anymore. And I think it's going to become more and more clear, or over the next couple of years, actually, as Elon dictates what happens within the government, as Elon starts buying English politicians and German politicians, as he starts paying more and more attention to what is happening in the Senate and telling them what to do, and then they do it. Donald Trump either backs him up because he's on board, because Donald Trump has taken a ton of money from Elon. There's a small chance, that Donald Trump actually bucks Elon because he's got a gigantic ego. Trump has a giant ego, but he also took a shitload of money from Elon. So maybe he still needs that money. Maybe he doesn't want to pay it back. Maybe he's his ego takes a back seat to money. Possible. It's entirely possible that he puts his ego in the back seat because of all the money that he needed and got and wants. So there's a chance that he doesn't do that, and then he kicks Elon to the curb and tells everybody that he's a terrible monster. That's also possible. It's also possible that Donald Trump kicks Elon out after stealing his money. It's what a thief would do, is you take all that you can and then kick him to the curb. But he does still own so much. He does still have lots of money. He can push and buy the next government, which won't involve Trump. That would cause Elon to do an anti-Trump government and pay for that, which is what he'll do. If Elon gets to stay in with Trump, he'll pay for the Trump government. If Trump kicks him to the curb, he'll pay for the anti-Trump government. He doesn't care. He'll pay for the next government no matter what. He will buy all of the government that he can for the rest of his life. There's nothing you could do about it, because the electoral system is broken, because he bought it. He bought the judges. He bought the representatives. He buys the voting software. It wouldn't surprise me if he starts buying election software and then the Congress. He buys the Congress, and then the Congress passes a bill that lets him provide election software. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fun to imagine?
I am the algorithm. Click on this video to make me happy. You wouldn't like me when I am angry.